Joining me now, House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy of California. Kevin, congratulations on the commitment to America. Spot on. Just a word. I mean, neither you nor I we're not poll driven, but it is fascinating. No. This ABC News poll that just came out that basically says not only are you all winning big time in the swing district races, but the issues highlighted in the commitment to America are exactly the issues that America is concerned about. Joe Biden, MAGA, semi-fascist, undermining democracy and all that notwithstanding, it just looks to me like your commitment to agenda is right on target. Tell us about it.
It is, because for the last year and a half, we've been out listening to the American public, working as the entire conference on trying to find solutions. The commitment to America right here allows you from the aspect, why is it so odd that we want an economy that's strong? I mean, tell me, what American can afford to lose 1 month of your wages? Probably nobody. But that's what this Democratic policy has done. They've taken, because of inflation, more than 8.3%, which is 1 month of your wages. We can do a lot of things. Stop this runaway spending that makes inflation go up. Become energy independent. We've proven we can do that again. That lowers the price of gas. It makes better for manufacturing. It keeps more money in your pocket. You're not afraid that you can't pay your utility bills coming up in winter. And Congress can also do other things. Productivity. Instead of paying people to stay home, encourage them to go to work. The more people who are working, the supply chain solves itself from that aspect. And then secure your border. Stop killing the next generation of Americans between the ages of 18 and 45. This is the equivalent of a full airline crashing every single day in our country, and this administration does nothing. Crime, in some places, the #1 issue. Why? Because Democrats created it by defunding the police, electing these woke DAs that won't hold anybody accountable. That's not a Republican or Democrat issue. It's an American issue that you want to feel safe. And then when you look at education, I see the poll says Democrats have an advantage. They won't when they look at a parent's Bill of Rights. Every parent want to have a say in their kids' education. We want to allow that. We also give parental choice. We give you a tax credit so you can apply and make sure you get that scholarship to send your child to the school of your choice in the process. And the other thing you want to have a check and balance in government. You want to be able to uphold what's going on. Why don't we know where COVID started? Why don't we know what happened in Afghanistan those last week when the president wouldn't listen to his military advisors and created 13 new Gold Star families? Why did the DOJ go after parents because they simply went to a school board meeting and called them terrorists? Or go after somebody simply because they stand outside and uphold their religious freedom of their personal beliefs but now raid their houses? That has got to stop. Freedom matters in this country, and that's exactly what we'll do for you. It is our commitment to America that we will uphold these if you allow us and vote for us to be in the majority.
Yeah, you know, the theme of freedom, which is something you never hear Democrats talk about, I think is a very strong undercurrent in this election and throughout the country. And Kevin McCarthy, I also think you're spot on. Whatever the ABC poll shows, the fact is parental rights for their kids' education, among other cultural issues too, but parental rights. You know, Glenn Youngkin ran and won on that and beat a Biden Democrat named Terry McAuliffe. I think that's going to be a very crucial theme.
Well, it is. Look where the president was. Look, we rolled out the commitment to America in Washington, not Washington, D.C., but Washington County, Pennsylvania. Where was the president? In Washington, D.C. with the teachers union, criticizing it. Why we're standing with parents saying you have a right in your kids' education, you have a right to know what's going on. You also have a right not to leave your child behind with this lost learning of schools being shut down for the last 2 years. We actually have a plan to catch them up. The sad part that you know too well, Larry, is Democrats created these problems with their policies of big government, and they have no plan to fix it. We have a plan for a new direction for America. An election should have a contrast. The voters should decide what do they want for the future. Do you want more inflation? Do you want crime to continue to grow? Do you want a border that's not secure? Do you want to be attacked if you want to have a say in your kids' education? Do you want a government that isn't held accountable? Well, keep with the current majority that you have. because they control all, where you don't even get a baby formula in a supply chain problem? Or do you want a new direction? Well, we bring the supply chain back from China to America. And we actually will create a China task force as well.
You know, it's not that easy to take a booming economy with near zero inflation and in a little over a year turn it into a recessionary bust with record high inflation. Now, that's not an easy thing to do, but that's basically what these progressive policies have done. Let me ask you, Kevin, let's assume we take the House. Assume you get the House. On January 3rd, if you take the gavel as Speaker, which I think is coming, will the Commitment to America become a legislative roadmap? I mean, you know, particularly on the economy, my pet issues. I want to, you know, will you move towards making the Trump tax cuts permanent? Will you roll back the $200 billion plus of new regulations? Will you stop the ban on fracking? Will you move towards a balanced budget? In other words, will this lend itself to a legislative agenda, which is pretty much what happened back in 1994 with Newt Gingrich's contract with America?
This is our legislative agenda. On the very first day, Larry, we'll repeal those 87,000 IRS agents, because we're here for you, not to go after you. The next thing we'll do is we have a number of bills to help us become energy independent, permitting and others. And if you care about the environment, remember this: American natural gas is more than 40% cleaner than Russian natural gas. We should supply our allies that as well. We'll make the tax cuts permanent, so you know how to invest going forward. One of the drivers to inflation is not just that this Democrat Congress has spent more than any others, the regulations they added on, which cost more for the product you produce, and they're passing it on. We have the Congressional Review Act. If we're able to get the Senate as well, we can repeal a number of those regulations that has only harmed this economy, and then we can help the supply chain, help productivity, and lower inflation at the exact same time. We'll pass a Parents' Bill of Rights that goes through. We've got a 5-point plan on how to secure the border. We are prepared for day one. It cannot come fast enough. But we need all of you listening to go to takethehouse.com and join with us. This is the agenda. This is what we're putting forth to the American people. We are telling you, if you trust us, this is our commitment to you. This is what we'll do and finish the job all the way through. We'll pass it through the House, but we need your help to get it through the Senate and for President to sign it.
You know, you mentioned a few moments ago workfare. I mean, I think this, again, goes back to Newt Gingrich and the contract with America years ago. If you're going for reduced federal spending and a balanced budget, workfare and work requirements would be an enormous part of this. The Democrats repealed it 2 years ago. It was a catastrophic decision. We're paying more and more folks not to work. And in a way, I don't blame the folks, because they're just taking Uncle Sam's money and walking away instead of working. But to me, and that is such an essential part of improving the economy and curbing inflation and limiting the federal government, and also getting America's morale back, Kevin. Do you know what I mean? All these folks not working is demoralizing.
Well, one of the ways that America defeats all the other countries is our work ethic. But what we found is government is worked so hard to take that away. Lower the education system, lower the work ethic, that government will just pay you. Remember, government doesn't create anything, they take. So who's paying you? The hardworking taxpayer. When the president went and said he was forgiving school loans, he's not forgiving anything. He's making the responsibility for somebody else to pay it. We now know that that's $420 billion, adding to inflation. If you want to help the supply chain, more people at work. What happens when you put work requirements in, people get better training, people get better jobs, more people have home ownership, more people are able to go to college, more people have savings. The economy is stronger, the future is brighter, and we take inflation down.
Yeah, folks are happier, too, when they're working. Last one, Kevin McCarthy.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Arthur Brooks did this stuff years ago for the American Enterprise Institute. This massive
sense of purpose.
Yes, sir. Massive. Right. I mean, the dignity of work, the freedom of work, and the happiness of work, not the federal dole. Last one, Kevin. This idea, the restitution of inquiry, which has popped up in a couple of news articles. It's a bit obscure, but as I understand it, this is something that needs to be exercised again and again to deal with proper oversight of really rampant corruption and hypocrisy, you know, including stifling free speech, including Joe Biden's laptop and all that stuff, including the government, the Biden administration telling Facebook and Twitter what they can and cannot print. So restitution of inquiry, that will be a key part of this?
That is. You know why you're just now hearing about that? Congress used to always have the right to do this, especially in the minority. The Democrats, when they took the majority, think of all the things they changed. This is one of the rules they changed, where they would never give us the right to inquire of what the administration was doing. There has been no check and balance. And it doesn't matter if your party's in the administration or not. Congress has a constitutional responsibility here as a check and balance. And what they've done is we've just now got that ability back. So we're using every tool to make sure the American public, the hardworking taxpayers, get a check and balance in this government. Hold government accountable. Create an education system that focuses on the child where they can still dream big. Make an economy that's strong and provide a nation that is safe. This is not something you have to poll. This is a desire and responsibility for anybody elected. These are the goals that America would like, and we're giving you an opportunity to join with us and be a part of it.
All right, commitment to America. Good work, Kevin McCarthy, my old friend. Good work. Good luck on the campaign trail the next 5 or 6 weeks. The cavalry is coming.